Number 4 is an identical problem with one slight tiny little twist involved here. So we've got iron acetate hydrate. So we're going to start here with 2.5 grams of FeC2H3O2 2.xH2O. We don't know what it is. And then we're going to heat it. So again, we're going to drive the water off. And the only difference between this problem and the last one is that in this one, it's telling you that there are 1.77 grams of the anhydrous compound that are left in the crucible. And in the previous problem, I told you that there were 1.805 grams of water that were driven off. So you can still achieve the same goal. It's just that the number I gave you the second time here, the 177, is not the water that was driven off. It's how much of the anhydrous compound is left. So I'm going to subtract from this 1.77 grams, except that is going to be the FeC2H3O2 2 anhydrous compound. And then after all of the math on this is done and you subtract those two numbers, you should get 0.73 grams, and that represents the water that was driven off. So it's the same thing as before, except that instead of giving you the water, I gave you the anhydrous compound. Now that I have these two numbers, all I have to do is turn them into their moles. So I have 0.73 grams of water times 1 mole per 18 grams, and that is going to get me about 0.0406 moles of water, assuming I have done my math right. And now I'm going to have 1.77 grams of iron acetate. So I got to go back up to the periodic table. So here is your iron. Here's your carbon. Hydrogen is 1 over here, right? And here is oxygen. And in iron acetate, I'm going to have 1 iron. I'm going to have 4 carbons. I'm going to have 6 hydrogens. And I'm going to have 4 oxygens that's there. See how that works? I've only got the 1 iron that's there, but I've got C2, 2, so that's 4. I've got H3, 2, that's why that's 6, and I got O2, 2, that's why that's 4. So 1 iron, 4 carbons, 6 hydrogens, and 4 oxygens. If my math is correct and I add all that up, then that stuff weighs about 173.9 grams. And plugging those into your calculator, I'm getting a 0.0102 moles of the FeC2H3O2 2. So my formula then is going to be FeC2H3O2 2, and that's going to be 0.0102, and then it's going to be the water as 0.0406. You divide by the smaller of the two numbers, and by the time you're all done, you should end up with a 4:1 ratio. So it's a tetrahydrate.